Good day, all my lovely friends. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this lovely Kusudama flower for Mother's Day, but I'm going to teach you how to make it as a pen or a pencil so that you can give it as a gift for a mother or a granny or for your daughter or whatever. Because let's face it, everybody uses pens or pencils. So let's get started. Okay, so I've got this little 6x6 paper sheets. I've got 2 of them. And I thought if I cut them each into 4 squares, then I've got 8 little squares, and that's enough to make my paper petals. So because this is 6x6, if I take it on the 7.5 centimeter line, and it cuts it in half. On the 7.5 centimeter. Oh, I'm probably the only person who can cut like this with a guillotine. Okay, so if you don't have a guillotine, you can just cut yourself 8 little squares. That's exactly square, mine isn't. I'll just cut the pieces off. 8 squares. That is 7 by 7 or 7.5 by 7.5. Mine is 7.5 by 7.5. But because some of them are skew, I'm going to have to cut off some pieces. So they're not going to be exactly 7.5 centimeters. But I think you'll get the idea. Okay, so let's get started. So what you want to do is you take your little square, you turn it around, then you take the one tip to the tip across and you match them up and you squeeze your paper in half. A nice straight flat line. Sorry, I see I'm a bit off camera. Okay, and then you cut off the remainder if you made the same mistake as I did. I'm exact with these kinds of things. Some people don't mind if there's a little white. I do, so I do cut them off. Then you take that triangle that you've created and you bring these 2 points together again, squeezing just here, and then you open it up again. Then you take this point to the middle up there and squeeze down. You take the other point to the middle and squeeze down. Then you take one of them, you push here, and then it should open up there. And then you align this line with that one in there. So if they're aligned, then you squeeze down. It creates kind of a little kite here. Then you take this little flap that's overhanging, you push it down so that you've got a triangle here. But then you take this one up again, you open this up, you put it inside, close it up and fold on the line. So then it looks like this from the top. Then you start with the other side, push it in the middle, which opens it up, align the 2 lines, squeeze down to create your little kite, squeeze down the overhang, open it up, put the overhang inside, close it, and there you have one petal. Okay, let's create the next one. So you bring the tips together and you squeeze down nice and flat. Just cut off the mess I made. Okay, the other side is sharp. Then you bring those 2 tips together, squeeze in the middle, open up. Then you bring this one to the middle up there and squeeze. Bring the other one to the middle up there and squeeze. Push over here to open it up. Align the two lines. Create your little kite. Push it down up there. Open it up and tuck it inside. There you go. And the other side, push it over here, align the two lines, create your little kite, push down this little overhang, open it up, put the little overhang inside, and there you've got your next petal. We've created 2 petals already. Okay, then the next one. Okay, you'll see this one has got quite a gap, so I'm just going to align it there. Flatten it up over here. Cut off that little excess there. Cut off this. Okay, then bring the 2 tips together. Squeeze. Bring the tip up. And squeeze, and the other one, bring it up and squeeze nice and flat, push down to open it up, align the lines, create your little kite, fold in the overhang, there you go, push down to align those ones. And we've got 3 little petals, only 5 more to go. And I guess by now you also have the hang of it. Fold it nice. We just cut off the mess I made. Bring the 2 tips together. I like to do this with all different kinds of colored pens, especially if it's for a granny or for your mother. They probably just use it at home to create like to-do lists or something like that. And then it's nice to have it like not a blue pen, but like a different color. Nice funky pen. Also done it with pencils. The previous time I've made these, my son insisted I make one for him. I said, really, with a flower on the end? He said, yes. So I made him a pencil with a flower on the end. And he used that every single day. When he did his homework, he only used that pen. He was crazy about it. I made his with a pencil and a black flower at the top, and he loved it. I think it's just because it's different. But I must say, I've always had a thing for a pen with a little thingy on the back. So I always used to buy myself these pens with unicorns or pens with llamas. And if you can create your own or create one for someone else with a nice flower on the end, I think that's really special. And every time they write with it, then they think of you. So I really think that's special. And every time somebody sees it or whatever and they say, oh, that's nice, where did you get it? And they say, oh, my daughter made it for me for Mother's Day. I mean, that is special as well. So yeah. I want to create a necklace as well for my mother for Mother's Day, with resin. But if I do that, I will definitely upload the video as well for you guys to see what I create for her. And I think she's gonna love that as well. And I actually made the other two pens that I showed you, and I'm making this one because I want to give my grannies as well, and for my mother one. Oh yes. She'll never forgive me if she doesn't get one. Okay, align. So guys, what are you making for Mother's Day? Are you creating something special, or are you just going out buying something? I always feel like it's more special when you create something than when you buy something. I do feel like they know it really comes from your heart when you create it. And obviously effort goes into it, and a little bit of yourself goes into every single craft, every single craft that you create. So whether you give it away or you sell it, your crafts, a little bit of your heart, a little bit of your soul goes out into the world and makes someone else happy. And I think that is really special. And that's why I like to create something. Me and my son will probably sit and make cards as well for the grannies, for my mother and her mother, and my husband's mother. My mother and my granny is actually coming to visit me. They don't live in the same town. I used to live in the same town as my mother, but we recently moved away. But we only moved one town over. So it's about 40 minutes drive. So it's not that far. So we still see each other now and then, like once a month. And my grandmother is actually coming to visit with my mother. She stays a whole province away, so it's like 4.5 hours drive from my gran to my mother's house. But my mother's actually going to go fetch her next week, so I think they'll be visiting me like the week after Mother's Day. So I want a gift ready when they get here to visit, so that it's special, so that they can get something, you know. Yeah, I miss my gran. I haven't seen her through this whole lockdown. I haven't seen her in more than a year's time, because she lives in an old age home, and here in South Africa the lockdown in the old age homes was very rigid, and they couldn't leave the old age home at all, and they couldn't get visitors. You could get parcels to them via the staff, but you could not enter, so you could not visit with them, they could not visit. So I haven't seen my gran in more than a year, so I'm really looking forward to this visit. And my mother said she's looking forward to the visit. Oh, shame. She's been so emotional every time when you call. She gets so emotional when she needs to say goodbye. She just wants to cry. and then I also want to cry. Yeah, so I really do miss my gran. I cannot wait for her visit. Okay, and this is our last little petal. Just take this away. See if the glue gun is ready. Apparently I've been kicking it. It still feels hot. Okay, so then I just hold them like that. You put a little bit of glue on one side and push them together. Just hold it for a little while in place so that it sticks. The glue gun is very quick, so it really just takes a few seconds, and then you can take the next one and push them together. If you hear all kinds of noises, it's my son. He's watching movies, and my craft studio is like right next to the living room where the TV is in. So there's always noise here, and if I create and I have to do a voiceover, then it takes so much longer for me to edit and to create the voiceovers, because now I also have to wait till it's night time or something like that to create a voiceover in order for there not to be noise in my craft room. So it's a real schlep, and that's why I decided to rather just record real time while I'm talking to you guys, just closing the door and hoping that the noise is not that bad and that you can still hear me, because otherwise it takes so much longer for me to upload the little videos. And I want to upload this Mother's Day video in time so that you can create it before Mother's Day. And with Mother's Day only a week away, I thought if I can create this and get it uploaded by this weekend, then you can still also make it. Maybe make it a family project, make it with your son or your daughter, and have it ready by next week for Mother's Day, which I thought would be nice. And that is why I decided to create it quickly. Okay, now I'm just taking a color box chalk ink pad, rose coral, and I'm just gonna ink the edges a little bit to take away some of this white and also to give it just a little bit more interest. So I'm going around all of this white edges and also on the inside and a bit on those three little spiky things. So yes, I'm getting a visit from my mother and my grandmother. Probably not next week, probably the week after. And I am so excited. I should actually create another present or another flower, because my friend is coming to visit next week Friday. The Friday just before Mother's Day. And I haven't seen her in the whole 2 months since I've lived here, since I've moved here. I haven't seen my friend. So I miss her as well. And she says she misses us. So she's coming to visit as well. So I should probably just make another pen for her as well, or decide on something that I can create for her. Maybe I should do a necklace for her as well. Her little daughter turned 2 in January, so maybe I should make a resin necklace with her daughter on. I think she'll like that. Okay, so I've inked up the edges. Okay, now before I glue these together, I'm going to show you, I've got this little stamp thingy, I don't know, it's magnetic, and then the stamps are magnetic as well. So I'm just going to spell out Happy Mother's Day, the H and the M capitals. Now I should always remind myself which one is the P and which one is the Q. Happy mothers. T, where's the T? T, H, where's the E? Mother. It's got a little comma. It's got this little comma. I'm just going to turn it upside down. Mothers. Where's this? Happy Mothers. Let's put a capital D. D. A. Y. And I think I'm going to move the happy in a bit so that it's kind of in the middle. Like that. I hope I wasn't off screen. I hope you saw. This is a magnetic stamp alphabet by, I think it's Making Memories Providence. I don't know. Yes, Making Memories. I don't know if that is a company that you also have, or if it's South African. I really do not know. It was something that I bought locally, and now I'm using Tom Holt's Distress Ink Walnut Stain for the Happy Mother's Day sentiment. There we go. It looks a little big, but anyway. Now I'm just gonna roughly draw a little leaf. This is gonna be a giant leaf. Okay, so then you just create a little leaf, take a little chalk box or an ink, and just chalk up the edges. I'm going to do the back as well. Okay, then again you just put a little bit over there. First I've just put them two together. I glue them two together. So yeah, at the top part I just do a little bit and then I go down very thin, because at the bottom you just want them touching. You don't want it to glue like up to there, then it closes the flower and then you're going to battle when you glue it together. Okay, the next little one. Okay, and then you can start putting two of the twos together. All this glue. That's the only thing I hate about the glue gun. It's all the glue strings. I don't know if it's just my glue gun creating all the glue strings, or if it's everybody's. But I hate the glue strings. It's like little spider webs. They are everywhere. Ugh. Okay, now it's all over me. I feel stuck. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, this was not nice. I was looking at the bottom and that was not good. Okay, at least I saw it in time. Let's try that again. Okay, so then you leave one side open because you want to add your little leaf. So then you're going to put glue and add your little leaf. I'm going to add an Afrikaans leaf because I want to give it to my mother. Obviously she understands English, but it's just nicer because she's Afrikaans to give her an Afrikaans sentiment. So I'm just going to add an Afrikaans sentiment. And it just says, love you, Mum. Okay, where did I put the pen? Here it is, and I've got a green, a pink pen. Yeah, green. Oh my. It's obviously been a long day. Okay, glue stuck everywhere. Okay, then you put glue over there again, but you also have to put glue everywhere on the inside. Then you take the back part of your pen, put it inside, close your flower and hold it in place for a few little seconds. There you can see your leaf, you can see the little sentiment on the leaf. So now when your mother gets her little pen and when she's writing, then she sees love you, Mom, and yeah, I think that's just lovely. Okay, and obviously it creates this hole at the top. It creates a smaller hole if you use less petals. I use 8 petals or 7 petals because then it has a big enough hole to insert your pen at the bottom. But what I do at the top is like these little jewels, or like you saw with the other pens that I created. Here I just put a little cut out wooden flower with a jewel on top. So you can really use anything. You can use buttons or anything like that. I'm going to use one of these giant jewels. Whoopsie. And that will cover the hole. But I'm going to put some glue on here as well. Then I'm going to press that in. And look at that. got a lovely flower pen to give to your mother, and it writes. So yes, you can create this using pens or pencils. I just think it's lovely. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and you feel like you learned something, please hit the like button. If you would like to see more videos on my channel of me creating stuff or just art journaling with you guys, then please subscribe, hit the bell button and select the top bell that says all notifications, because then it will give you notifications every time I upload a new video, and then you will not be left in the dark. Please like my video if you found that you actually liked it or you found it informative, because that lets YouTube know that you actually like my channel and they will recommend it to other people as well. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.